But one thing I found with the people who gave the prologue, a preface, whatever, contributing authors who said a few things about you on here. Okay. And one particular thing caught my eye, and it says here, I read, it says, there are people you meet for a short period of time, and their personality, their aura, their general outlook on matters of humanity and human dignity resonates and become drawn to them. Such person is the author, and I am grateful that he entrusted me with the work of his book. This is one of the people who was endearing to it, and I read this and I said, wow, this is a real good testament of the kind of person that you are, and the outlook, your perspective on life shows vividly in this person's recommendation in your book. How close is this?
Oh, that is Tokwe Adigun for sure. Incidentally, I've not met him in person.
I see.
We met, I met him actually through a guy here in Calgary. Mm-hmm. We introduced him to him. He is living in Lagos, and he contributed immensely to the compilation of my book. And we had a lot of conversation. There was a time we were almost talking almost every other day, at least twice in a week. So we had a lot. He's a young person, and I wouldn't have known that I had such influence on him. But usually I live my life the way I am, so I don't pretend. I don't even know how to pretend. So when I meet you, you have met me. This is about
what you see, what you get.
So that's what you get. So,
yes.
So I was also pleasantly surprised when he wrote that, and it's okay, since it was what he wrote, I didn't want to touch it. You don't know how you impress people. Mm-hmm. You just do your best, and you need the rest. What I try to do to be as natural as I can be. I don't believe in fakeness. I don't like people who fake things. When you fake life, it irritates me. And what I don't like to give it to people. So that is that. I just, live my life with the young man, and he became impressed. So that was his word.
A few things that I read in the book also gave an account of governance, how as African leaders, how we do things, and the perception that we need to have to make life better for everybody. I mean, in sense of the egalitarian sense that I will talk about earlier. How would you see our leaders in terms of, thinking to the extent that how we feel, that considerations to be given to the human elements, that how we feel and how they perceive life. Because there's a whole gamut of, when you look at how people do things in Africa. And let me give an example. The white men, be it Caucasian or Chinese, what have you, they come and they already have this mentality that these people are corrupt. So, to maximize their profit things, they will select a few people, give them a whole bunch of money, and then corrupt them in the process to get concessions that they want. And human beings being greedy, because we are greedy by nature, we just fall for those things. And that this person would come and write an agreement, an MOU, with a government. Tell them, I want you to take your resources, untapped resources. They have already done some due diligence. They say that, okay, you have X amount of wealth underneath. So they come up with this idea. We'll give you money. You said you want about $100 million to do infrastructure. We'll give you $1 billion. You who are spearheading this, we will give you X amount of money. We'll build a nice house for you. We'll give you access to whatever money you want from our banks. Now, this is what we want. We want to take control over all these things. And if you can't pay, we will take over this and that and that. And we are so myopically we fall for these things. For our selfish gains, we collect the money, and then the whole country is put under distress. Part of that came from the structural adjustment program that we've seen, which has made Nigerians and Nigerians so many years back. Ghana the same way. Everywhere they did the same thing. What is your take on that?
Yeah, I've written a lot about this. If you look at one of my chapters, which I said, the many ways of our people, I share my own personal experience where people came to me and say, okay, take this thing and put it on your seat.
Mm-hmm.
You will remain in power in that seat forever. Nobody can move you. I said, that is crazy. So I even wrote an article today on Facebook, if you have read it, which I was narrating, although the article is a bit in your favor, because Twitter headquarters was moved to Ghana, which had 8 million users as against Nigeria, who had about 21 million users. And our minister came to say this because of us. We Nigerians, we are bad people, that we are the one marketing the government. So, and I said, okay, we are bad people and the government is good. How come bad people are producing good government? So the thing is, like, our people, our policymakers, they don't even read these agreements. They don't read. So when you even talk of small print, or just like you were saying at the introduction, they say, okay, if you want to identify from a black man, put it in a book.
Okay, yes.
It is very derogatory and very sad, but it is also very close to reality. So these people, yes, our leaders are myopic and they think more about themselves. So I also blame the people a bit for that, because the moment you are in government or in a position, we worship you literally. So we see you as a master rather than as a servant. I think the concept of leadership as a servanthood to people is not that common in Africa, except maybe for Tanzania, for Nyerere and Magufuli did that. Kwame tried, but Kwame had a very overarching ambition of Pan-Africanism. I think Pan-Africanism derailed him from his purpose. So that is about Nkrumah. So our people, since then, they are so narrow-minded. Our leaders are so narrow-minded. And yes, the foreigner, the white come and they kind of manipulate them, and they give them money to literally sell their people, and they are still doing it as we speak.
Exactly.
Today, if you want to do something, if I go with the proposal today, okay, I want to have spent some number of years in Canada, I want to, and I want to leverage on my experience and all that, and I write a proposal, and I take it to my government in Nigeria, and I want to say minister. I want to even say permanent secretary, not even a minister. I bet you, and maybe somebody who is, a young guy here that I can even employ, we go together for different mission. I bet you they will attend to him. They will attend to me. They will take him to the minister. They will be asking me unnecessary questions. Whether do I know the permanent secretary? Did we go to the same school together? And when let's say I'm able to see him, what would they ask me? How much are you going to give me? They ask for money. They don't see it as even something bad. I have had questions to challenge some of people in the official government cycle. How do you people think? And we have this problem that we are short-sighted. We don't think about our future. We don't talk about the future of other person. Individual person want to escape poverty for himself and his family. The rest nation, the rest country can go hungry forever. They don't care. So I think it is our attitude. So there is a local proverb in my place that, as a village boy, that if somebody is drunk with palm wine and he started saying something wrongly, they will say, oh, he was not saying that because he was drunk. He was saying those things because those things were already in him, but he needed something to push it out. Exactly. So, like you said, if you are not greedy, it is difficult for somebody to say, okay, come, I give you 10 billion whatever currency, and I want you to give me exclusive right to your mineral resources. And it's not taking about even giving that money to government. It's giving that money to you as an individual because you happen to be on that seat. And you don't understand that you are selling the commonwealth of people. You are selling the prosperity of generations, even after you. So because that is enough. For instance, when they came to me to give me, to say, okay, take this sham and put on your seat, and nobody will unseat you. If that tendency to sit tight was already in me, I would have accepted it.
Yes. Exactly.
So, but I'm not saying that I'm super angelic and others, but it's like, I think when we should begin to have this kind of conversation to predict the consciences of our people, to let them know that this is not fair to their people, that they should no longer think about themselves alone. How much money can you, as an individual, even your entire family, how much money can you spend in a lifetime? And you don't care about those ones, and you now sell off the sovereignty of people, what belongs to people. Today, all Africa, we are shouting now. We don't know. In the next 20 years, China might colonize us again.